Welcome back to another session, and we're going to work out another loan amortization. This is Excel exercise 13 in your handout, so refer to that as we set up the space for the amortization. We shall have an input area and an output area, so let's go ahead and type that information in. Okay, I've already gone ahead to enter the information we've been given. We've been told that the loan amount is $130 million, and I changed this figure using the home key, and I just went ahead to click on the dollar sign, the accounting number format, which came up with the dollar English United States. So that's what I put there. The rate per year, we've been told, is 17%. That's per annum. And we've been told that the payments are made semi-annually. So that means 2 times in the year. That's why I've put the number 2 there. And the duration of the loan is 15 years. So we are going to go ahead to our output area and calculate N per. So the number of periods are going to be equal to the number of payments in each year times the duration. And we are going to enter. And we are going to go ahead and set up our schedule. Let us put our headings first. We have the period, followed by the beginning amount, followed by the payments, and we have the principal, payments, and then we have the interest payment, and finally we have the ending balance. Okay, so these are our headings. I'll just make these bold, and I'm going to merge the cell above here so that we can put a heading to show payment schedules. Okay. I'll put the word loan. Loan payments schedule. Okay, so that's what we have there. And I'll just extend this so that each column has its own space. Okay, there we go. And we are going to start with the period. Remember, we said that the period, you will get to know the period by the N per, the total number of periods for payments, which is the payments per year times the duration. So we start with 1 and 2. And we are going to drag this all the way down until we get to 30. So that's done. And then we are going to go to the beginning amount. The beginning amount is always the loan amount that is taken out, because that's what you have to start with at your payment. So is equal to, and I click on that cell, and I'm just going to lock this, although I don't need to. We get used to locking it so that is fixed there. It won't get dragged down by accident. Now, in the previous video, we looked at working this out in the beginning, but in this video, we shall deal with the beginning amounts of the next payments or period 2 after we are done with the ending balance. Some people complained that it's not nice to see the zeros there, or it gets confusing to see the zeros. That's okay. That method also works. So we are going to begin with our payments, and we are going to use the function PMT. So start with the equal sign, type PMT and open your bracket. And you notice the first thing we deal with is the rate. So we are going to click on the rate. Remember, this is the rate, and you lock that rate. Again, I say if you are using a laptop, you may have to press the function key for some of the laptop keys. Function F4. So we have locked the rate, and we divide this by the number of payments per year. We click on the payments per year and we lock those two. And next we put a comma, meaning we are now done with the rate and we are going to the next item. The next item is N par. You notice that it has been bolded. We click on N par and we also lock N par. And we put a comma to instruct the computer to go to the next item, which is present value. And our present value is the loan amount. So we click on the loan amount and again we press the function key, F4, function F4. And we are done with that. We are going to close our bracket and we are going to enter. Okay, and we are going to use the fill handle. Double click on the fill handle and it should go all the way down. And those are the payments that are supposed to be made. Remember, we said these payments that are made semi-annually are based on two parts, the principal payment and the interest payment. So we are going to start by calculating the principal payment. And the function for that is PPMT, principal payment. So start with the equal sign and type PPMT, open your bracket, and we start with the rate. We click on the rate and we lock it. Divide by the number of payments in that year, which is 2 in this case, and lock that one too. Then we press the comma to take us to the next. The next thing we see here is the period. And we are going to go to the left side and click on the current period we are working in or we are calculating for. Please remember, do not lock that cell because this is a reference column. We put a comma to take us to the next level. N par, we click on that figure and we lock it. Comma, present value is the loan amount today. We click on that and we lock the cell. And we are going to close our bracket and we enter. Again, we are going to use the fill handle to drag this all the way down. And to calculate the interest, we are going to get the payment and we subtract the principal payment. So this is equal to payments minus principal payments. And we enter and again use the fill handle to drag all the way down. And then finally, the ending balance. As we said last time, this is equal to the beginning amount plus the principal payment. Many times we confuse it with the payments. No, it's the principal payment, and we are going to enter and use the fill handle to drag this down. Now, we are going to end by coming right away here to the second payment period. And the beginning amount of this second period is going to be equal to the ending balance of the previous period. So this is equal to, we click on the previous period ending balance and we enter and we use the fill handle to drag this down. And how do you check your schedule? You scroll all the way down and make sure that you end with 0 in your workspace. So there we are. I hope you've understood how to amortize a loan. And according to this question, we are supposed to copy the information onto another worksheet and to establish what the rate should be so that the total interest does not exceed 50,000. The total interest should not exceed 50,000. Okay, let's go ahead and do that too. I'm going to make a copy of this sheet by pressing Control on the keyboard and I drag with my mouse and I let go. I'm supposed to call this worksheet interest. So over here we are going to use, let's use goal seek, because we are supposed to calculate the total interest not to exceed 50,000. So let us put our total interest here. And just as we did last time, the total interest is going to be the sum of all payments. Open the bracket of sum, and you're going to highlight all your payments. Close your bracket and you enter. So this is the interest we currently have, but we are not supposed to exceed $50,000. What interest should we pay if we are not supposed to go above 50,000? This is a little tricky. Remember that the interest over here is showing up in negatives. So it's important, even when you're using whatever function you use, to make sure you put in your goal in negatives. So this time let us use goal seek, because we are only looking at changing one cell, not several cells. So we are going to go to data, click what if, and we click the option goal seek. So here we are at goal seek, and the cell we have selected is the one for interest. You notice that it is the one by the dotted line. And we want to change this to what value? Make sure you put in negative 50,000. By changing which cell, we are going to click on the cell of the rate. This is the rate we want to have changed, because that's the finance rate. And we are going to click OK. And we click OK. Now notice I put in the wrong value. I put in 500,000 instead of 50,000. So I'm going to go ahead and change this and make the correction. I go back to goal seek. I click the same cell and I change this to 50. Remember, it should be minus 50,000. By changing the cell, the rate, and I click OK. And we click OK. Now notice it's telling us 0%, meaning that a very low rate has to be charged. So I'm going to put this as decimal places. You'll notice that the rate is 0.0049. That doesn't happen in real world, but at least we have gotten to know exactly how to use goal seek to help us establish what interest rate we need, given maybe a total interest that the bank may be looking for, or the project or the circle you're dealing with is trying to look out for. Let me just increase the decimal places of this so that we can at least see the interest rate that needs to be paid. Part C tells us create a line graph illustrating the decline in the balance due. Okay, so I'm going to select the ending balance. And I go to insert on the main menu bar and I select the line chart. I'm going to select a simple one. And there is our ending balance. And I'm going to put this worksheet on a new, this chart on a new worksheet. So I'm going to, or the question didn't tell us to move it. Let's just put it on the side here. And that is our chart showing us the decline in the ending balance from the amount and all the way to the 30th period. And we are supposed to save this file, so don't forget to save. And I hope you learned how to amortize a loan, and you can go ahead and amortize your different loans in the different spaces you're in.